Welcome to Home Team Advantage. This is Mike Egan. I'm Gary Gimbetti, even though I don't probably look like Gary Gimbetti today because I've got these stinking glasses on. But
You kind of got that Clark Kent look.
yeah, I could be Superman
Yeah.
for all anybody knows.
Super reporter.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds right.
See, we have to give a warning because, like all regular TV shows, they warn you that we are going to go a little longer today.
That's all right.
So stay tuned. Don't fall asleep.
Yeah, the last thing we want is you for
When you're out there watching it, oh, gee, 20, they're almost done.
Yeah, for those of you who do time us, I can hardly wait till we're over. We're going to go longer today because we have a lot to talk about.
Yep.
And I suppose we should get started. Both high school and, college, I suppose we can talk about, and professional sports. But
Yep.
high school,
Tournament time is over.
it's coming to an end. Next week is the boys' basketball tournament. We might as well start with what happened last night down at Duluth East High School. The Hibbing made it to the finals, obviously, as everybody knows. And I'm going to get the score here.
They lost by 20.
Yeah, let me see here.
They were down by
They were down
3
by
at halftime.
four,
34.
34-30 at the half. I thought they played
Played
a
well.
very good first half until that last minute when Denfeld went on, I think, a 7-0 run.
Yep.
And but like Kyle told me last night, things were going to plan. They did what they wanted to do, and they had actually a 7-point lead at one point.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Denfeld turned the Jets on, and
Literally.
I guess if that's what you want to call it. But and good for Denfeld. I mean, we'll get into more of that. But Denfeld hadn't been to state since 2004, and so they finally snap that streak of futility, I guess, if you want to call it that.
21 years.
Yeah, so they deserved it. The Ferguson kid went off for 31 points, I think. Very good basketball player. I don't know what his future plans are, but he certainly could play at the next level.
Well, you take away the guard play last night, and Hibbing wins the game. I mean, that's just they had an answer for it the first half. Second half they didn't. But when you look at that team from Denfeld, the two guards that are playing from, they're going to run into the same type of guard play at the state tournament.
Yes.
So I think that'll neutralize the advantage they may have on other teams. So, but we'll see. Like boy, the kid can shoot. Wow.
Well, he can shoot, he drives, he does everything. I mean, but last night there was a bunch of finals in 3A, and you have St. Paul Harding beat St. Thomas Academy 66-65. De La Salle beat St. Paul Johnson 74-65. Totino Grace beat Monticello 78-52, and Orono beat Benilde St. Margaret 76-55. So there's
They're all in the state tournament.
they're all in the These are all and then Alexandria beat Fergus Falls 94-72. So I heard some of the kids talking on the bus about maybe Orono winning it all.
Oh,
So I take it with a grain of salt, I guess. But the kids know.
and they should be. Can you be proud of yourself after you lose a game? They should, because they've turned the team around. I mean, they didn't overachieve, as someone had said to me earlier. They proved that they've come a long way.
They belonged there last night. It's unfortunate that game got away from them. But and we were talking before we got on air about the traveling calls last night. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I watch a lot of basketball, which of course is my job. It's not a hard job, is it? But I hardly see a traveling call.
Well,
they
all think it's the NBA now.
Well,
You get 2 steps and a ladder.
yeah, 2 steps, then a Euro step,
And a
and
Euro
they're into
step.
the basket
Yeah.
with 3 or 4 steps, and nobody calls traveling. Last night, the traveling calls, and what did we say? We had at least 4 of them.
There's 4 on Mr. Himself alone.
Yeah.
In the paint.
Yeah, and
But
some
then-
out at the top of the key, we had some traveling
Yep.
calls, and then the one you mentioned. Go ahead, you mentioned it about the foul on the traveling
Oh,
call.
yeah, one official underneath the basket calls a foul, and the other one way out, like the NFL, he's way out at the half court. He calls a traveling call. So.
Yeah, because the fans and the coaches at
yelling at
Denfeld are yelling traveling. So the guy underneath the basket saw the play
Yep.
and called the foul. And then the guy out at center court who can't see underneath the basket calls the traveling call. It's just, and again, this is not why they lost the game.
No.
But it's just the inconsistency that they have sometimes in this officiating. And I'm not getting down on these guys because I'm glad they do it. I know them. They're all great guys, and it's great that they're doing this. But have a little consistency when you do that, because you're shuffling your feet. Every player I see shuffles their feet before they dribble.
Right.
Or they shuffle their feet before they shoot a three-pointer. No, you don't have a pivot foot when you're shuffling your feet.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I don't understand too, and again, we're not crying over spilled milk, anything like that one.
Yeah, good one.
That guard, that number 1 from Denfeld, every time he took a jump shot, he'd fake to the left, take 2 steps to the right, and then put it up.
Put it up.
Is that not traveling?
That's traveling. And they don't call it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I mean, when this Euro step became the fashion, I have no idea. It must have been.
That's the NBA influence.
It was near the. I know it was near the end when I think Joel was still coaching, and this Euro step came in, and I know his daughter used it, and I think Aiden used it, and all that stuff, and that's good. I mean, I'm glad they were able to do that. But even when it first came in, all you'd hear is yell traveling.
Yeah.
Coaches would yell traveling, and all of a sudden, no, this is a good thing. You can do this.
And you should take our hats off to the coaching staff for Hibbing. I think they've done a great job this year. And the program has improved, and hopefully they have a brighter future ahead of them with some of the younger kids that'll be coming back. Unfortunately, not like hockey where they can go play A hockey or whatever it is and leave school. So.
Well, I'm writing a column, and I'm not going to. You have to read it in tomorrow's edition of the Mesabi Tribune.
Oh no, you got to spend $1.25.
Yeah, there you go. If you want to read it, so I'm not giving, but Gavin Bexel, Lucas Arnold, and Finn Escalay, and I know there's one other senior,
Yep.
but I feel bad because I don't remember who it is, and I'm going to hit myself or not. But those are the 3 seniors that played. And they'll be missed a little
Yep.
bit because those 3 really improved their games.
Yep.
I think it's Mendoza.
I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah, what's his first name? Well, our producer will find that. We'll give him credit
Yep.
too, because he stuck it out and stayed on the team and worked his. I'm sure he worked hard.
Yep.
So.
Well, they got a young nucleus behind them. They got some. The JV played well this year, did well, and they got some good kids coming up. So.
Cody is his first.
Cody Mendoza. So we don't want to forget anybody. Those are the 4 seniors that will be graduating, and thank you for sticking out your careers and making progress as a Hibbing High School boys basketball player.
The only drawback I see from the Hibbing coaching staff is they don't get up and get the fans to do the cheers.
Well, that was the other thing. Assistant coaches are not supposed to stand up on the bench, yet Denfeld's assistant coach was up trying to get the fans involved.
No, he was not trying.
no.
He was. He's bringing.
was-
He's leading the cheers, and
again, why the referees didn't put a stop to that,
Yep.
I don't know. Is that why we lost? No. But they're rules. There are rules.
Yeah, but the other thing is we mentioned too, and I mentioned earlier when I played back in the day when the ball was square, you weren't allowed to talk to an official.
Yeah.
You could ask him what you did wrong if he called a foul, but you can't sit there and lecture him on how he made a bad call. That's an automatic tee. Just like last night when, towards the end of the game, Denfeld, when they're switching guys out, what was it? Oh, they were all on the bench talking,
Oh.
and they're supposed to be playing. That's an automatic tee,
Well,
and the official didn't call that.
yeah.
So
Well, and then there was an incident earlier in the game where I can't remember if it was a traveling call on Denfeld or not, but the kid did slam the ball to the
the
ground.
big kid did. Yes,
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
He's not, not like super hard, but he did made
Oh,
the
he- yeah,
motion
he-
and he slammed the
yep.
ball on the court,
Yeah.
that should be a technical foul. You should not be able to do that.
He's the same one that came out of the game twice because he had ankle cramps.
Yeah, he was cramping up. But those, and it's Antonio Brown and Carter Brown, and they're two very good basketball players, and they have good size, and they will be back again, and they're good players.
Yep.
Again, we're not criticizing their basketball abilities because all those kids for Denfeld were very good.
And this, to me, it's just going to be like hockey with Hermantown and Cloquet. This is going to be a nice rival for Hibbing
Oh,
to have for the
Yeah.
next couple of years.
and it will be. And then you have Grand Rapids,
Yep.
who they handled us in that last game of the year.
Which cost them the number one seed.
Probably.
I think.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if that would have mattered or not, but, well, because you
Didn't
never,
hurt.
well, but yeah, so, there's going to be 3 or 4 teams that are going to be vying for that 7 AAA title over the next few years, and that's good because you want competition. So,
Well, let's get into the hockey.
okay.
The state hockey tournament for the Blue Jackets. First game went very well. Second game, not so well.
Not so well. Well, and being down there, I was in on after they beat Laverne. What was it, 7-0?
Mm-hmm.
I was in the press room while the Laverne coach and 2 of his players or 3 of his players were in there, and they were getting questions asked to them. And one reporter asked him about toughening up his schedule. Okay, so I don't know how you do that. I mean, obviously you can add teams, certainly, but Laverne comes out of southwestern Minnesota. Who is going to travel
Up, yeah.
from here, even if it's Hibbing, Rock Ridge, Grand Rapids, whoever, or even Duluth schools? His problem is who's he going to get to come down there?
Right.
That's the issue, because now Laverne kind of reminds me of being the Hermantown of Section 7, because they seem to come out of
That section
all the time.
Yep.
And then obviously they get stuck. And I think they've been they've only been to state 4 times, I think, in the last few years, well, which is a lot. I mean,
Yep.
that's a good accomplishment because you're making it out of your section. But it seems like every year they get stuck playing Section 7. And now I shouldn't say I listened to interviews the other day and guys were terrible speakers. But
Yep.
it was Hermantown, and now it's Hibbing. They always seem to draw that number 1 seed out of Section 7, and then their first round obviously doesn't. No, I think they pushed Hermantown to the limit a couple years ago, and I think Hermantown had to beat them in overtime, but I'm not positive.
And you mentioned Hibbing having the number one seed. Unfortunately, they had the best seat, or because they're seated at number 1, they had the best route to the state championship.
They did, and they played well against Laverne.
Yep.
They came out. They played very well for a period and a half against East Grand Forks. They had they scored, we'd score, they'd score, we'd answer back. That seemed to be the magic of this team this year, was their ability to bounce back after a goal, giving up a goal.
But that, too, was maybe part of their downfall, the second part of that game, because they were still pressing with a 3-goal lead, and their defenseman got caught a couple times and ended up in goals for East. So, but you can't change midstream. That's their or how do you say it? That's their
Well, that's their personality, or the way they
go and attack. But sometimes you got to maybe kick back and play a little more defense. So.
Well, and that's the one thing the coaching staff wanted them to do. I mean, they have to come back. They have to protect the front of their house. And yes, they got caught. Rex had no chance on 3 or 4 of those goals because the guy was wide open and
Right.
had a wide open net to shoot at. So it's not on the goalie. It's on the entire defense for not tying sticks up and for not being back in position. And that's turning the puck over at inopportune times at bad spots on the ice. But you know what? That's the way hockey goes. But for those kids, then I think the worst part of it is that they didn't bounce back on Saturday.
Yeah.
and got beat by Orono 5-1. Now Orono is a good team, but yeah, they just didn't bounce back. They didn't. How that well they handled it, I don't know. I wasn't down there, so wasn't with the team. But it would have been nice if they could have come home with a third place trophy.
But again, they've got a lot of young kids, and hopefully a lot of them will be back next year to play. And I think they're strong at every position. They're losing, Wally, but I think this young Lampier kid will do well. And they got the two brothers playing still.
Yes. And, and Jace Campsell, I give him some props. And Aiden Jerkovich got an assist down there. He's a senior. And again, I'm going to probably miss out on
Now,
who
did
the other
Campsell
seniors.
get the hair award? Is that what
Oh,
I said?
he did. He made the New York Times
That's what I heard.
with a picture because he was biting a Slim Jim or something. Was that before when he came out when it was at the first game?
The first game, yeah.
Introductions.
Yeah.
He had the hair and he was
Biting his
on
Slim Jim. He's doing his macho Randy Savage.
He did make. He went viral, I guess, if you want to say that, for doing that, getting your picture in the New York Times.
He was at the basketball game last night, so had the outfit on and the hair. You couldn't miss him.
I was hoping, but now teams like St. Thomas Academy don't do that hair thing.
No.
Obviously they have a different set of rules or codes that they follow there.
Yeah.
So, but
Should they be in the tournament? No, it could be. To me, never mind.
no, we
We
don't
won't
want
go
to
there.
push that.
Otherwise, we'll lose our sponsorship with Caribou Coffee.
Yeah.
Even though today we're drinking
cinnamon something.
cinnamon something.
Cinnamon something. I can't remember. It's a new one.
It's that cinnamon.
I haven't figured out the new names of the drinks that they have there. So
Well, you just go in there. Give me the new one.
yeah, I want the new one. But
Hey, he's ordering the new one.
and this goes for the basketball team too. For the hockey team, do your workouts this year, your off-season workouts, and get in the weight room, get stronger. And every time I told one of the guys last night at the game, I said, when you're doing your lifting, whether it's squats or bench press or core work, just keep thinking state
Yep.
at this point, because you can get there.
Yep.
And you don't want to go. You want to get back there and kind of rectify the wrongs that happened to you this year. So
Work on the things that need improvement. Your jumping ability, your movement ability, your footwork. Shooting will come, but the little things that need to be done. And those two young kids, those two young guards last night, for work on your quickness.
yeah, you have to have your footwork
And
down.
stop reaching.
That's the main thing. And again, getting back to the basketball, they only hit 2 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the name of their game, is making threes.
Yeah. Kind of like the Timberwolves.
When Ray's not pounding, Ray did a fantastic job. He scored 20 points or 21, but we just did not hit. We hit 2 threes. I think Evan Bolden had one, and I think Lucas Arnold had one. But that's the name of their game, is shooting threes. And if we could have just rained down some threes last night, I think they would have been fine. But
Just be strong.
Yeah.
Come back. Okay.
work
Wrestling.
out. Wrestling. Ian, I believe, Larrabee placed sixth. Fourth? Okay, Ian placed fourth. Sorry,
Yep.
Ian, if you hear this. I apologize.
I hope he takes it out on you.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't need that.
And it's his 4th year down there.
And it was
Yeah,
his fourth year. It's best finish down there. Made it to the semis. And then obviously did get beat. And then went to the third place match and lost that one. And I can't just imagine how good those.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not down there, you can't tell how good those wrestlers
Yep.
are. But Ian does a good job for himself, and I hope he goes on and can wrestle in college somewhere.
Well, I'm sure he will. I mean, he's a big kid. You don't want him mad at you, so you better write a nice article.
Yeah. So, well, the problem is the Jelly kid over in Grand Rapids was like 54-0
Oh,
and won a title at 139. No, that was a kid we had here.
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, well, take that for what it's worth, a grain of salt. But he could have been winning titles here instead of over at Grand Rapids, but it didn't happen that way. So, he'll probably be our as we do, athletes of the year. I'm sure he'll be our.
One of your contenders?
Well, Jelly will be the wrestling act because
No.
nobody up here was 54 or 51-0
Yeah.
and winning this is his second straight state title, and he was probably undefeated last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonder
So-
what school he's going to, Iowa,
Well,
Minnesota.
he can probably have his pick if he keep. I think he's only a junior,
Oh, wow.
so I think he's got one more year. So he could win over. Well, he's going to win over 150 matches, I bet, in his career.
Oh.
Maybe 200. He might be able to reach that 200 mark. So
Well, I guess I don't have to
we're
worry
not
about
Rapids.
slimming down then, do I?
no, but we're not Grand Rapids sports.
No.
Sports.
Fanatics.
Yeah, no, Grand Rapids fan line.
Right.
We're not doing that.
Let's go into swimming.
Swimming.
Another year, another participation
Well, he
in a state tournament.
he got 6 or 7 guys down there. Three of his relays, and then he had, I think, 3 individuals that made it. And Wiley Stenson made it in 2 events. Isaac Nelson made it in 2 events, and John Lund made it in 1 event. So they then there's Henry Fredine, and again, I'm gonna blank out on names. I know it, but Caleb Boos. I got to remember who I talked to. All made it on relays. So he did. He has not. I don't think he's ever gone a year without having a swimmer
Yep.
advance the state. And he's combined with the girls and boys for like almost 50 years of coaching.
Yes.
So.
And he is staying at coaching.
Yes, he is retiring from his
the
teaching job at the end of the year. You saw that in the paper the other day. They had the resignations for purpose of retiring. So, but he will stay on as swimming coach, so that'll be good for the program. And it's only that boys program's only had 3 coaches in its history.
Yes.
Pop Lukens, Carl Ellison, and Mike Panziano. So it's kind of going to be weird. I don't know who would take over that program if Mike ever stepped down.
But that's, again, we've talked about the swimming program and the success they've had. He's got such a great program that year after year after year, it's always, beginning of the year, not so good, but then towards the end of the year when it counts, the kids are ready to go.
They are. And Wiley, Wiley can't go unmentioned that Wiley made it into the top 8 in the 100 freestyle and then finished 7th. And then in the 100 backstroke, he qualified for the consolation heat. And he did swim a time of like 55.4, I believe, or something in that area, which did set a new team record that was held by Jeremy Strom, I think, back in either 2004 or 2010.
Wow.
I'm not, like you say, we never come prepared for this, but
Why change?
well,
No.
yeah, there's no reason to change it. So he did set a new team record, and
But that's why people watch it. They sit out there and they go, "What the hell are these fools going to talk about now?"
yeah. But he did finish 9th in the consolation heat, so he won the consolation heat.
Nice.
And then all the other guys they just missed
Yeah.
making it into the finals. So it was a great year, young team. So.
Another young team. So hopefully the
Yeah.
future looks good in the swimming department.
Well, if Wiley keeps swimming like he's swimming and keeps getting better, I mean, his brother William, I believe, was a state champion in one event. And I can't remember if Geely won a state title or not, but she was also very good.
Well, if you want to see a well-tuned athlete, it's a swimmer. They say that's the best thing for you to get in
Yeah.
the pool and just swim. They don't carry Volkswagens around like that. Us old guys do. But
And when I was interviewing Mike about what Wiley did, Mike made it very clear that he was the only Section 6A swimmer to make it into the finals,
Oh.
the top 8 up here. And Mesabi East sent quite a few swimmers. Grand Rapids sent quite a few swimmers, but he was the only one
Yep.
up here to make it in the top 8. And he was very emphatic about that one. So
do you think his team has ever thrown him in the water?
I
I don't think I've ever seen Coach Finziano in the water.
Would he be able to help?
Back in the day, he may have when he had those really good boys teams.
Yeah.
They may have picked them up
Yep,
and
and
thrown
thrown
them
in
in
the
the
water.
water. But yeah, I don't. He probably makes sure he stays away from that
Yeah.
because he probably doesn't want to go in.
Don't want to get the hair wet.
No, so
Well, congratulations to him and his team, all the teams really. It's been a pretty good winter season for Hibbing High School.
yeah. Unfortunately, like the girls' basketball team, they had a tough year.
Volleyball,
Volleyball had a
tough fall.
tough fall. Football did okay. I
Yep.
mean, I'm sure Matt would like to see it a little bit better
Yep.
than it is. But in skiing, we didn't get anybody to state. Nobody, neither Rock Ridge nor Hibbing got any skiers to state. Girls hockey had I'm sure not the kind of year Coach Hajduk would have wanted them to have, but they're young. They're all young. I mean, so hopefully, all I can tell you is if you watch this show, just work at your sport. Try to be a 3-sport athlete, but if you're gonna play hockey, shoot the puck during the off season. You can always get a goal and you can always put targets up
Yep.
and be able to hit those targets.
The big thing to me is, as you mentioned, if you're a 3-sport athlete, you don't need to excel in all 3.
Mm-mm.
You use, and I get the example, like cross country. If you join cross country, you do well, you run, you get in shape, which helps you move into your next winter sport, and then from there you go to your spring sport. But it's just a building point for you. You don't have to be the number 1 guy or girl in each sport just to participate. So,
No, but it's the experience of playing under
Yep.
pressure situations, and you become more comfortable in those situations if you play 3 sports. 2 sports, 3 sports. I prefer 3 sports,
but just the camaraderie you
Yeah.
have, amongst your peers.
And don't forget the drama department with the one-act play on the state.
Oh, that's right. The drama part.
the drama department one-act play won this. We
State,
were just informed won the state, so congratulations.
Went to state and,
Or
and they,
went-
yeah, they got top honors.
Oh,
Went to state and had top honors. So congratulations to them.
Yep.
That's a winter sport.
Yeah, we have decent drama and I want to also what I wanted to do, and I want to say this on the air, is I want to commend the Hibbing High School band
Yes.
with Matt Berg. It sounded well last night in Duluth, and I also heard them down at the state tournament, and they sounded great down there. So
Nope.
congratulations to him.
if you're giving kudos to the band, the alumni band did pretty well too.
I was going to bring that up too, because
the city band.
Julie
Good.
Sandsteed, the director of the Hibbing City Band, and the alumni from Hibbing got together and did the Blue Jacket Boys quarterfinals and semifinals.
Yep.
And they heard from a guy who was doing some filming, maybe for a TV, that they sounded great, and good for them. We commend you for taking your time to go help the high school band out and the high school basketball team
Yep.
out when the band was down at the state tournament. I wanted to say that, so I'm
But
glad.
the battle of the bands last night, I'd have to give my hat off to the Hibbing band.
No, they did
Boy,
a
they
good
sound
job.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sounded. The only thing I wish maybe he'd do would be to add some guitars,
Oh,
maybe a bass guitar. I don't know, because Denfeld
They
had
had the bass
Denfeld
guitar
had,
and
had
the-
a guitar player
yeah,
in there.
and the guy playing the drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, this is not a criticism because they sounded
Next-
sounded good last night.
Next year they'll be playing Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And don't forget the lady playing the cowbell did a really good job too.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that was
the
yeah.
cowbells?
Yeah, my wife was playing the cowbell at the basketball games.
Like Will Ferrell.
Yeah. They needed more cowbell. I don't know if they did. What's the name of the band?
Blue Oyster Cult.
Blue Oyster
Cult.
Cult. Yeah,
Yeah.
they needed more cowbell.
Well, that's when Will Ferrell did that Saturday night skit when he had the cowbell going.
Fear the Reaper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't fear the Reaper.
Reaper.
What? So I'm glad. You almost brought that. Yeah, you brought that up. So thank you for bringing that up. 'cause
I'm
I
glad
wanted-
something came up.
Yeah. So, because I wanted to make sure that they got their kudos for filling in for the band at the basketball
Yes,
games.
yes, and To me, that's one sign of, you talk about athletics and the involvement and camaraderie, but man, you band people there, you guys got something going there.
Well, don't look at me.
Well, no,
I'm
but
not
your
talented
wife,
at all, but
but Mrs. G plays, and it's just like there's that camaraderie between you. I mean,
Between everyone.
everyone steps up to help somebody out, and
she's not a
it's
Hibbing
the same.
grad. She's a Brainerd grad.
Shh, not so loud.
No, well, whatever. But and she does more than just play the call bell. Let me tell you. I mean, that woman is incredible. I mean, she always has been a piano player and a singer, and but she decided to take up the cello
Wow.
and learn how to play the cello. Now she knows how to play the violin. You know, she can play the drums.
Sweet music in your house.
Well, I know there is. There's a lot of music going on, and now she's transcribing
Oh,
to make songs a little easier or music easier,
Yeah.
Oh.
whatever they call that.
Transcripping?
Maybe it might be something like that.
Scripping?
Huh?
transposing?
Yeah, that
Transposing?
might be it. I mean, so
For all you people watching that know the answer, call
yeah,
in.
call in, yeah. But she's amazing. I'm very
Wow.
lucky.
I hope she's watching the show today.
She settled. She settled. I got lucky. So
You heard it first.
that's right.
And let's hope the band program will continue on for many years.
That's right.
Let's squash that rumor right now
Oh, why?
about the band.
Oh.
The band will be around for a long time.
All right. Well, no, I'm sure. I can't see taking music away out of the school.
Band and drama will be around for a long time.
And then I want to mention the choirs
Choirs.
for singing the national anthem before games. I mean, Will Sikora does an excellent
Yeah.
job with his choirs, and we don't want to leave them out.
Speaking of the national anthem, did you hear it last night?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't. That poor girl.
Well, I don't. Number one, there had to have been almost 3,000 people in that building.
You could tell she's a little nervous.
Well, they didn't have her mic turned up.
Oh, I know, but they even when she was singing, it was kind of like she stopped, like she's reading it.
Well, yeah, it was like whether she was forgetting what the
words were.
were, and it's not an easy song to sing.
No.
Number one, number two, she was very good.
Yes, she did.
She
Very nice
did a
job.
very nice job.
Except for that last note, she got a little trouble with that high note.
Well, yeah, but she got helped out by her Denfeld fans,
Yeah.
which is probably one of their, what do you want to call it?
Idiosyncrasies,
No,
trademark.
Yeah.
probably one of their trademark things that they do if she sings the song
Nice.
at Denfeld High School.
Nice.
You know, land of the free, and then I suppose it was the home of the hunters. I don't know. That's screwing up the whole song right there. But yeah, no, she did a very good job. And you kind of feel for them when they start singing it because you know it's not easy. And
No, and that was 1,000, like you said, 3,000. I mean, again, why does the district play a game like that at a high school auditorium when there's no play? There wasn't enough seating for people, and they got Class A playing at Romano Gym, which could have held all those people and more.
Probably.
I don't get it.
I'm-
I just don't get it.
I know Romano Gym's not the biggest either as far as capacity,
Yeah.
but you might be right. They might have been able to hold that there.
But why give Denfield the home team
Well,
advantage playing at East, which I'm sure it's a little easier for them traveling and doing all that kind of stuff. You might as well play at the Hibbing Memorial Building.
but again, to be fair, they were the number one seed.
Sure they were.
And you know, technically, I suppose if you did it right, the right way, they should be playing at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I think any number one seed deserves. They worked that hard.
Yep.
You know, it was nice for Hibbing to get the number 2 seed because they got the 2 home games.
Yep.
You know, that helps to not travel.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So I have to
But-
be, in all fairness, they were the number one seed.
Yeah.
So
And again, hats off to the people of Hibbing for coming out and supporting. Not only that, but all the support the winter teams received this year.
Yes.
It's been good. So
don't hang your heads. you did the city, the school, and your community. Well, I guess community is the city. So
Yep.
you did us proud for the kind of
Accomplishments.
well,
Accomplishments you've achieved.
achieved this season.
So,
Yeah, now go on to your winter or your spring sports. That's going to be fun to watch.
yep.
Tara Hertling's going to be fun to watch in track. I think Brady Janicic and Jake Wally are going to be fun to watch in track.
Hey,
That whole track team, hopefully they have a kick butt 4x800 relay of the boys. I'm sure the girls can probably put something together too. So hopefully they have successful track seasons. Baseball started throwing this week, and next week they start in earnest. And who knows? They might not get on the field next week, which we need a AstroTurf. We need a turf field. I don't know how many times we said that on this show. So get on it. But they might be out. I mean, I don't know what the weather's supposed to be
Rockridge have a
like.
turf
Rock,
field?
we have two nice turf.
Indoors?
Not indoors,
Oh,
but they have
okay.
two nice turf baseball fields,
Yep.
which is something Hibbing should have. But that's neither here nor there. But and then tennis and golf. Golf, of course, will be
And we
on.
need an indoor tennis court.
Yes, we do. We need the field house too, so we can play indoor tennis and run track on a 400-yard track and not a 200-yard track like they do. So
We have a nice track out there now.
yes, but we need an indoor track.
Yes.
So we don't have to travel. You want to save travel costs?
You-
Build an indoor track, and then you don't have to travel to Bemidji or
everybody-
Superior to go to an indoor track. So
Put it on your Santa list.
yeah, you buy a lotto ticket lately? I
Yeah, man.
wouldn't trust the lottery, but you're not going to win that. I don't know how people win that, to be honest with you.
They
pretty
pick their
low.
winning number.
Well, yeah, how?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the guys that win it 2-3 times. How do they do that? They have a system down or
They
something.
have inside information, I think.
College.
College, University of Minnesota fired Ben
Johnson yesterday.
after losing to Northwestern in the Big Ten tournament. Fair or not?
I think it's fair. He's given 4 years. And like the AD said, we expect a winning team. And if you're paying the guy the amount of money they pay him, the coach, and again, it runs into that problem again with this open portal stuff. You know, kids can play here. You know, take the example of Mr. Asama down there. Is he going to stay or is he going to go play somewhere else? You know, he has that right to do that. But it's so hard to, unless you have a status or stigma like North Carolina, Duke, or some of those winning
UConn.
programs, UConn, your kids are going to stay with you. But no, I don't think it's unfair. He had 4 years. I mean, you don't produce, you lose your job. I mean,
So what does that, bringing Isaac back up again, what does that do for him? Because Ben's the one who recruited him.
right?
Does he? Well, but I think I think too. He wants his family to be able to come down and watch him play. So there might be a good chance that he stays because I don't know if he wants him to fly over the country.
And that's just an example. I don't think that he's going to go anywhere. But it's just the university, and then with the Big Ten now becoming the Big 20, you're competing UCLA, USC, Washington, and then the usuals: Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State. So you've got to put a winning team on the floor. And is a coach really a coach, or is a coach a promoter? I mean, you go out and you talk to these kids, and you're trying to get them to come to your program. So you're promoting your program, and then when it comes down to coaching, hey, Assistant Joe over here will take care of that. So I don't know what it is. So.
Well, his biggest issue this year, I think, was the fact that they go out to California and they beat USC and they beat UCLA. Then they come back home and have 2 home games against, Northwestern and Penn State. Teams below them, I think, in the standings at the time, and
Get blown out.
they get beat twice.
Yep.
Now, if he wins those 2 games, this might be and then they lost to Washington, which is the worst team in the Big Ten. So, I mean, is that on him? That on his play? I mean, that's obviously a combination. Probably more on the players for evidently not showing up for those games. But And I'm sure he tried his best to keep them focused.
Again, to me, it comes down to you want a program to win because it comes down to money. And you've got, the University of Minnesota is not an inexpensive, how do I put that? They have a lot of donors that have a lot of money.
They do. Yeah, you would probably know that better
You
than I
know,
would.
it's like, I'm sure their endowment is pretty big, but they expect to have a winning season, and that's why Fleck has done so well. I mean, is he Big Ten champion? No, but he's always had a winning record, and he puts excitement onto the field, and it draws people to the stands. So, and I think that's what the basketball program. They're looking at what they had when Musselman and Dutcher and who was the other ones that
Clem.
Clem, when they, well, Clem had half his kids being tutored by somebody else. So, but hey, take that test for me, okay?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so again, I think same with the hockey. If the hockey fell off one year, they're going to get rid of the coach. So,
Well, look at this year.
yeah, they got beat by Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, 2 out of 3 games.
Yeah.
And now they're done until
Are they in
the NCAA
Yeah. Pick.
portion of it
Yeah.
starts. Now, will they get a number 1 seed? Probably, because they did share the Big Ten title with Michigan State. But how do you, Notre Dame's not even, how do I say this with being fair? I don't think I can. They're not that good.
Okay, we said it.
Yeah, we said it. All right. If you want, emails, phone calls, whatever. And you
Just
get
don't upset Father Sullivan at Notre Dame.
well, and a team that's as loaded as the Gophers are can't score goals against Notre Dame. Now, they're tough defensively. I get that. Bob Motzko would probably set me straight.
Yep.
But you should not lose to Notre Dame in the first round of the Big Ten tournament. Now they're done, like I said, until the NCAA portion of it starts. But yeah, now you're off for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And how are you gonna?
Get geared up and go
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
You want to play. Now rest is not always the worst thing either.
Yeah. Well, I wish we had our surprise telephone guest to
Yeah.
come on. We could ask him those questions.
That's right.
His name sure came up a lot at the hockey tournament,
And he actually went in and
and his
talked.
pitcher too.
He actually went in and talked to the team after they beat Laverne.
Okay.
So I don't, and obviously I heard him say that he didn't give him any advice as to how to play, but he just told him that take the moment,
Yep.
be in the moment, and have fun with it and stuff like that. So,
No.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's
What's
that.
left?
Now football, pro football.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we got a few minutes left here. We don't hardly ever get into this.
I was kind of hoping that we would be the first in the nation to announce the Aaron Rodgers signing
Coming to Minnesota.
coming to Minnesota.
Yeah, let me check my news out here.
Ron's gonna cancel his tickets. He's get over there. Yeah, he says that now, but then if they win the Super Bowl with him, best move they ever made.
Well, that I laugh and chuckle every time I hear it on KFan about the Aaron Rodgers thing. As I say, Brett Favre.
The Brett
but-
Favre thing, same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Except Brett wasn't he? Well, he's about the same age.
Same age, and basically 2 years removed, playing for the Jets, and then come play for the Vikings. Same as Aaron.
So
Do you want to be exposed that way?
Depends on what
Yes.
secretary he's talking
yeah,
to.
yeah, depends. But I don't know what he could provide right now. I mean, is he a Hall of Fame quarterback? Yes, he's going to be.
Is he a Hall of Fame jackass? Yes.
Well, yeah, that's the thing you don't want in your locker room either, because
Right.
he might not show up. He might be in Mexico City one week, during
Practice.
training camp or whatever, which he did for the Jets. I mean, so whatever he did there, but
But to me, the problem he had with the Jets, he didn't have a surrounding support group. Now with Minnesota and the moves that they've made so far, I mean, when you look at their O-line and D-line, it looks pretty impressive for next year. So, and is J.J. McCarthy, yeah, who knows? He's only played one game
yeah, he's played a half a game,
or half a game.
not even a half a game, and then he goes down with a knee injury. So I mean,
And who do they got for a backup?
well, right now, no one.
Nobody.
That's why the steam is flying around, because do you want to throw J.J. McCarthy to the dogs, let him start, and then just go with it? I suppose. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but then you look on the other side, Sam Darnold had one good year, now he's a $33 million man
Yeah.
per year for 3 years.
Well, when we were at Buffalo Wild Wings last night after the game, they were doing an interview with him on the NFL Network, and I didn't hear anything because the volume's not up. But good luck to him. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have the supporting cast you had here. You
And the
don't
oth-
have the coach that you had here.
And that's the other thing, the quarterback they got from the Giants, who went to Indianapolis, they interviewed him, and he said being with the Vikings was the best experience he's ever had.
Mhm.
That he learned how to prepare and how to get ready for a football game. So that really tells you something about the coaching staff for the Minnesota Vikings. So.
No, did KOC do a great job in that playoff game?
No.
No, he let Darnold get hammered 9 times and didn't adjust his offense to make sure that didn't happen. But again,
But he didn't have a quarterback that could roll out.
no.
So
That doesn't
Anyways.
help. But you're right, they picked up 2 offensive linemen, 2 defensive linemen.
proven linemen and
Proven.
proven defensive linemen.
Older, some are older.
Yep.
The Freeze, the guy from Indianapolis, is like only 27, but he was hurt last year.
Yep.
I can't remember with what. It was either a torn pec or it was like a broken leg or something, one or the other. So we'll see. I mean,
And their miniature center they can't trade him. Nobody wants
Yeah.
Bradbury, so they're going to release him.
yeah. So we'll see what
Sounds
happens
like-
because they did get a center. They signed a center
Mm-hmm.
that's beefier than Bradbury. And then you have Bradbury, or you'll have the center, I can't remember his name. You'll have Freeze at one guard, and you'll have Darrisaw at tackle, assuming obviously how healthy he is
Yeah.
coming back from his knee. And then you have Brian O'Neill on the other tackle and whoever the other guard is. So that should be,
Who's the guy they got from Arizona that is he a free agent now?
I don't know.
Can't think of his name. Anyways,
But you're still looking at Cooper Kupp was cut by the Rams.
yeah.
And TJ Lockett was, I think, cut by the Seahawks. So, I mean, just think if you added one of those 2 guys to Jefferson and Addison.
Wow.
I mean, what you could have. And if you got a quarterback that can get him the ball.
Right.
And then Jones is still the running back. I don't
Yep.
know what they'll do in the draft. Pardon me. Excuse me.
And I hear they picked up a 3rd-round pick, right, from the
Well, they got
Atlanta
a
trade?
compensatory
Compensatory
trade
trade.
trick.
whatever that means.
Yeah, well,
Is that kind of like a depository?
yeah,
pick?
suppository pick. Yeah, it's a preparation H.
Snuck that one right in there, didn't you?
Yes, I finally said something funny.
Yes, you
In the
did.
10 years I think we've been doing this, I hopefully said something funny.
A couple of our fans just fell over in their chair.
Can't believe I'd say something like that.
I'm rubbing off on you, kid.
But Kirk Cousins is still. I mean, the Rams
He wants out.
or the Falcons don't necessarily want to get rid of him, but what's he going to do? Sit behind Penix?
And as a Falcon owner, do you want to sit there and pay a guy another $50 million to be on your bench?
Well, they're probably stuck for some of that anyway because they signed him to such a big deal. But if he wants to play, then he should get out of there, and maybe he comes back here. Who knows?
Oh, that'd be like bringing Aaron Rodgers here.
Probably a little bit better. Well, yeah, because he's younger, so
Yeah.
it would be a little bit better. But
Oh, what about Russell Wilson?
well, Mr. Unlimited,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's another one that's good quarterback.
Yep.
But is he an issue in the locker room? That's the
No matter
thing.
what they do, they have to sign a veteran quarterback to come. I mean, it's just they have to. I mean, they don't have any choice now. If they don't get Wilson, they don't get Aaron Rodgers. Who do they get? Flacco.
Well, that name's been thrown around, and then the Gardner Minshew or whatever his name is,
Who?
it finally signed with the team. So, or at least we're not bringing him in. I think that would have been a waste of time to bring him in. I mean, he's decent backup, but he can't start regularly for you.
The one thing that Minnesota has going from it, and it's, you see it and you heard it, we just talked about it, the players that have come here and the players that left like this team. They like playing for this team. So that stigma of going to Minnesota and not being a good place to play, I think, is gone, at least for football.
Well, and those grades came out a couple weeks ago about organizations,
Yep.
and the Vikings, I think, were the second
Yep.
not the first one, but the second one where players like to come and play.
But the experience of playing and watching a game at the U.S. Bank Stadium is number one in the NFL. So,
Yeah. So we should be
Anyways.
able to grab somebody.
hey, we got to talk about Twins before we.
Yes, we have about 10 minutes to go here.
Yeah, we're running over time schedule. here.
Wow.
Got 8.
We got to keep Ron
I
away.
know why we don't sit here for an hour because
Yeah.
this chair's not very comfortable, but
Well, we get that new sponsor, we'll get chairs.
all right. Yeah. Twins,
Could be the fat wallet you got in your back
well,
pocket.
I wish it was that fat. But they are projected to win the Central Division, I've heard.
Yeah.
They start the season in like 2 weeks.
April 3rd, I think.
No, it's in March.
That's home.
Yeah, so they start in St. Louis I think next week. Well, maybe it's the week after. when
How are they
start.
doing in spring? I haven't really watched. much in
Nah,
spring.
they're under 500 right now,
Right.
but you know how spring training
Yeah.
goes. They're according to Ryan Jeffers, who I hear every morning or on Thursday mornings
Vancouver.
on KFan. Their offense, they're going to be hopefully going to be pretty big at run scoring.
Well, they better because they have no pitching.
Well, no, that's supposedly one of their strengths this year
Pitching?
is their starting pitching and their
Oh.
bullpen.
4
That's
returners.
That's why they are projected to win
Okay.
the Central Division, because their starting pitching is supposed to be good. Their bullpen, which we've heard how many years before, supposed to be fantastic.
All they need now is a new owner
Well, yeah, and they got to find that. I hope they find that out
before
pretty
the
soon.
season starts,
Well,
hopefully.
so somebody will spend some money, but yeah, no, it should be fun. Yeah, who me? Yeah, I wish.
I mean, you got that Clark Kent look going
Yeah.
for you today. You could probably get a few bucks up.
Yeah, I wish. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's all we can do right now. It's a new season. There's new hope, and hopefully that lineup. Hopefully
Nobody gets hurt.
Buxton, Correa, or Lewis don't get hurt in the first inning of the first game.
Yeah.
I mean, stay healthy, play 150 games each.
Yep.
I mean, that'll go a long way in determining how their season goes, because I think that lineup is stacked.
Yeah, when you look at it, like you said, their lineup from the infield, the outfield, they've got it pretty good. Catching a little sketchy, but
Well, Jeffers is he's a pretty decent catcher, plus he can hit a little bit. And he said he was working on his 2-strike approach, I heard him say one morning. So hopefully they don't strike out as much. I mean, put the ball in play. That's been our biggest gripe, I think, over the past few seasons.
They got a new first baseman,
they had a new first baseman.
right?
We'll see how Rocky Balboa puts everything together.
I can't remember what his name is.
Neither can I.
Oh, Ty France.
Yeah.
That's it. See, I can remember his name, but I can't remember a high school kid's
Yeah.
name.
And Larnick will be starting in outfield.
Larnick and Wallner, and then they have the Harrison Bader, supposedly a Gold Glove right fielder. So depending on how he hits, he'll probably be out there.
So they're not going to miss Kepler then.
No, probably not.
Kind of fell off the last few years anyway.
Yeah, and Max Kepler was a stalwart here. I
Yep.
mean, it's not. He was a free agent. They let him go, and good luck to him.
Yeah.
There's
Well, he can
no
come back and be a radio announcer like all the other
Yeah.
guys have done.
There's no animosity there. Not that there should be, but I mean, he served his time here well, and
They need to bring Burt Bylevin back.
heck, well.
They're announcers.
I don't know, for some reason, when they make it to the Hall of Fame, they don't have any time to
Yeah,
do anything.
anything.
I don't know why that is. I
Yeah.
mean, how much Hall of Fame official stuff can you do? I mean,
Well, I guess we don't have to worry about their radio announcer going anywhere then.
no. Dan Gladden?
Dan Gladden.
Yeah. Well, no, but he was a good player here, too, when he was here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yep.
very good. The Wild, Bill Guerin did nothing at the trade deadline, as
Nope.
far as I'm concerned.
I think they're looking to do what they can do, to save money for next year. I think next year is going to be their big thing, and hopefully, the three guys come back, Eck and Kaprizov and
Brodin.
come back and play well in the playoffs. But I think the $91 million or $180 million contracts will be done this year, so it'll free up some extra money for them. But Gold Indian is strong for them. They'll have to find a replacement for Fleury. But other than that, they need a couple big guys again. For years we've been saying this. They just don't have anyone to protect the little guys.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but I think they need scorers.
Well, they need that
And
too.
obviously, they don't grow on trees, and nobody's ever going to get rid of any of them. But he traded for this. He traded 2 young players for this Brazeau guy from Boston,
Yeah.
and who's supposed to play on the power play and on the penalty kill, and I guess he hasn't
It hasn't
done
developed
either
yet.
yet. Not that I've seen or heard. I've heard that he hasn't been on there. Michael Russo was on yesterday,
Yep.
and he didn't exactly agree with that trade either. But that's whatever. You're missing your 2 best scorers, probably. Well, one of your best scorers
Yep.
and another consistent guy that can score. And he just did nothing at the trade deadline, just like the Timberwolves never did anything at the trade deadline.
Yeah, but they've won 6 in a row.
That's right. Yeah, we segued into that one, right? So and they have with the schedule they have coming up, that could run to 9 or 10 games because they're playing Orlando and Utah
I
and
just
Indiana.
I wish Edwards would just keep his mouth. He's turning into a
No.
Towns. I mean, he complains about everything. Just play the game. You're
Yeah.
too good of a player to sit there and whine.
Well, and I think he learned his lesson when he got suspended.
Yeah.
So maybe, and the parts I've seen of them, the team is moving the ball better, even with
Yep.
Julius in there. They're moving the ball. So that injury to Julius probably opened his eyes up to say, hey, yeah, we got to trust our
Bring him back.
teammates.
And now they're saying Nas won't be back next year. Nas Reed.
Well, you don't think so?
That's what they're saying, but who knows?
No.
Depends how far they go in the playoffs, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
hey, we almost made it an hour.
yeah, we did.
How much time we got left, Ron?
Oh, a minute and a half.
Oh, so
Hey.
Hey.
I was trying to think.
I'm just going to say thanks to everybody that watches.
Yeah.
All 4 of us. There's 2 of us and 2 of them.
My
and
mom,
Ron.
my mom and my wife.
Yeah. And a great wife she is.
Yes, she is.
Yes, you proved
A
that
great
today.
wife. She's
And
so
we
talented.
promised Mom we won't swear anymore.
Yeah. Won't be talking suppositories or preparation H anymore.
Yeah.
But we may as well just, hey, keep working hard, high school kids.
Yep.
Get your strength up, hit that weight room, and work on your games, and everything will turn out just fine next year. So
Just participate. Get out from the hallways. Get off your sofas and your game things and participate.
that's right.
So,
All right, for Mike Egan, I'm Gary Giambetti. We'll see you again on Home Team Advantage.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support. HPAT thanks Premier Fitness at the Lux for their donation and support. They welcome individual and family memberships. To learn more, call them at 218-440-1191. Up North Lettering specializes in embroidery and heat vinyl press applications, along with patches and letter jackets. For more information, call them at 218-966-7850. HPAT would like to thank them for their donation and support. Hibbing Public Access TV may be viewed on these platforms: hpat.org with video on demand, Mediacom Hibbing 802, 805, and 807. On Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Download the Hibbing Public Access TV app for your iPhone and Android devices. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo. For more information, scan the QR code and go to hpat.org.